I'm getting swept off my feet, guys. By an attractive member of the opposite sex, you ask? No, no. Chess.com. Chess.com are sweeping me off my feet with all these new bots. I just cannot keep up. It's ridiculous. I think they know they're onto something. With all the cat bots, Mittens went a bit viral, didn't it? I think Chess.com know that's their way forward to push their brand and keep growing their business. So fair enough. So today we're going to take on all 5 of these new Chess.com bots. So Chess GPT is the most sophisticated and modern language model designed to deliver the smoothest, most realistic chess conversation experiences. Most wordy experiences, maybe, but all right. So it's rated 249. I'm not sure what the significance of that number is, but so he's talking a lot. Chess was invented by Bobby. I'm not reading this all out, guys, but you can keep up in the top right of the screen. All right, let's fianchetto this bishop, seeing as it's going to be on a nice diagonal by the looks of things. And I've been trying this double fianchetto thing recently, just because we're not playing any opening in particular, and it's like raw chess, so I quite like the idea of it. Okay, so Chess GPT, the clunkiest name out of all these bots, is just mocking me here with the early king lift, and I'm just going to keep defending my position. This is like a hippo opening, I'm pretty sure, where you put the knights here. It just saves you thinking a little bit in the opening, I find, and it also teaches you how to actually break at the center, because in certain openings we know, like, you break at the center like this, for example, in the Caro or the Sicilian. But here, when we're actually in a position, we've got to work out the best way to break at the center. So I think it's quite educational. Breaking out of theory sometimes. All right, so let's hit this queen, lift the knight out. And maybe we've got some pressure on this square. So if we remove this, maybe we'd be able to take this pawn. But I just see the bishop would be hitting our rook at the end. So we centralize the rook first. And so working backwards there. The end goal was this pawn, and we work backwards, solve the problem of the rook. And now I think we win the pawn. I'm going to take with the knight just because we're hitting with the queen. And we could throw this move in. We've also got this alignment issue here. So a simple move like that threatens this. We'd like to do this with Tempe though, because if this, they could move the queen. So how can we force this a little bit more? I'm not sure. Let's just try it. See if this bot falls into that trap. I think they have this alignment issue here. Okay. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the rest of the game since we're up a queen, guys. So I'm just going to blitz out some moves. Maybe we'll create some space and try open the position up, and it should lead to a quicker victory that way. Yeah, this bot just hanging pieces. What you got to say for yourself now, then? Yeah, not much. He's stopped talking now. He's losing. The most sophisticated chat bot. Okay, so we need to open up some more pieces towards the king, really. But I'm just going to keep grabbing free material. I mean, go for this pawn. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to checkmate him with just my queen, though, so I'll try this to open things up. He has got a very strong bishop there. I've just got to make a mental note not to allow a rook to come checkmate me. So just any move to open things up should be good here. So he's lining up with my king, but it's pretty well defended. So let's continue to smash things open. Now I've got this square available. Or this square, which looks nearly mate. Check, and this should be mate in the corner here somewhere. Like this. He has the block. And now that, king back, and let's bring another piece. We've got everything pinned up, so we can be as slow or as quick as we want. This check here, I'm not sure. Maybe queen here first. Then come in to this square. Just opening up this square for the knight. There we go. Okay, so that's the first one down. So he says losing is one of the 7 ways a chess game can end. Wow. I'd never thought of that. 7 ways. Win, draw, forfeit, forfeit, draw, win, and romance. Okay. What's a romance? Goodness knows. All right. Chippy. On to the next one, guys. Chippy, the paperclip, 700 rated. Chippy doesn't care. Chippy was originally programmed to help you, but he's gone rogue and now only wants one thing: to make you rage quit. Okay, Chippy. Let's take him down, guys. All right. White pieces. Let's play a proper open in this game. 2 pawns in the center. He's playing a French. I struggle in the French, so I tend to just keep it simple and take. Avoids any theory. And let's pin this. And just develop. You can do this, and often you get an isolated pawn in the center, so in this case, I go knight in front of the pawn. Pinning here, and maybe this move is threatened. Adding pressure to the pinned piece. I mean, now... So Chippy seems to not have any respect for pins whatsoever, so I'm just going to keep developing and keep pressure in these pin pieces. I mean, just like that. Okay, that's a free piece with a fork. So that's pretty devastating. And instead of saving the queen, Chippy elects to save his rook. So I can throw in this move, just because it's a check and we're winning. So let's throw in any simplifying moves we can, and then take. And then this is another fork, so we're forcing the trade of more material. And no reason not to take. We're up so much material here. Maybe this to defend the pawn. Yeah, okay, good move, Chippy. So do we defend this? Could defend by castling. Yeah. I just noticed in there my queen and rook are on a light square diagonal, to which he's got a light square bishop, so I just had to calculate a little bit. But and now the pawn push preparing this move, so let's just simply stop it. And now this fork stands out. Sliding the king over is always a good move when you've long castled, just to stop any issues with these pawns. And now we'll just fork. Apologies, I didn't realize this came with check. I just saw the yeah. So we didn't need to move the king over. We could have just forked, but let's skewer this or pin this bishop and attack the pinned piece. And yeah, pretty simple stuff, guys. If you just develop, get your king to safety, you should be all right here. To be honest, gobble some pawns, open the position up. I've got to be aware I've got a back rank issue going on. And where's the quickest mate? Probably here. And then that looks like mate. There we go, guys. That's how you take down Chippy Bot. On to the next one. And he says, looks like you defeated a paperclip. Which, yeah, I was getting quite excited and proud of my victory there until he said that. But anyway, PAL 9000 is a computer that became operational at the PAL plant in Illinois in 1992. After a failed mission, Danny Wrench found it destroyed in a field and reprogrammed it as a chess.com bot. I have no idea what any of that means. I just read out the sentences, guys, and play some chess. You're there to interpret that. Who is Danny Wrench? What does this mean? If he takes the queen, I gain tempo on the queen with the knight, but pawn in the center. And same as last time, guys. I mean, I'm going to create threats. And this bot, being a bit stronger, just immediately deals with the pin rather than in the last game, the bot just allowed us to add as much pressure as we wanted to the pin piece. Just develop. Let's get castled as well. And deciding between this, if it takes, we move the same piece twice. So I'm just going to develop. Moving the same piece twice, of course, a bit of a red flag in my head. Bit of a chess principle to not do that. So we can take this. Does that do anything? Can centralize the knight. Can just lift the queen. Connect the rooks. Seems okay. Okay, and they're breaking at the center, so this could be annoying. So if we take, taking away from the center, which is a bit of a red flag. If this, though, do we just win this pawn? Let's try that. I mean, I'm not loving it because now this move's coming. I mean, I can take that. The bishop is pretty good, but it's hard to defend this pawn. We can also damage the structure, and we're opening up the queen as well. So I think this is just about all right. We can try and hold on to the extra pawn now with this move. Again, this is always the threat. Here, this. Let's go for it. Let's try hold on to this extra pawn. I mean, they're always going to try undermine with moves like this. Okay, let's try solidify it. And if I can move this knight, I can really make the structure fully solid. But this knight is pinned, so maybe centralizing the rook seems natural. And now let's go for this solid structure here. So any undermining moves we can capture both ways. And knight on this square looks good, honestly. Stopping their key pawn break. I mean, we've not got a huge advantage. We're up a pawn, but we've also got this positional weakness now in Black's camp, where this pawn's backwards. If we can stop it moving forwards, we can maybe win this pawn in the long run. I mean, queen up to target this pawn. If push, could start trying to double the rooks, put the rooks on light squares, so it can't be targeted by the bishop. This, they can push though. Although if they push, I win this pawn. Okay, so this bot's now shuffling around a little bit, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on this backwards pawn. And starting to look at tactics like, obviously I'm not going to do that, but sometimes there's ideas there. Maybe this, putting more pressure. So they finally push. Now both pawns looking a bit weak. This, hitting the rook and then takes. Should be good. So we can win this pawn, or we can just win a rook. Duh, duh, duh. I'm almost tempted to grab the pawn because their only play that they've got is these two pawns in the center, but I think, yeah, this should just be good as well. So we can sack a rook here and probably win both these pawns. This. Here to defend the pawn. But there's no need to sack. No need to introduce any risk, guys. We are winning this game. We just need to... I don't know. I mean, that's one way to win. Push the pawn. Let's try going after this. I think this is the move, though, at some point. This now. If here... This giving away a pawn, and then we get this trading down. Let's try not waste too much time. I mean, let's just gang up on this pawn instead, see what happens there. Okay, so that's just a free pawn. That forces a trade of queen. So we're happy now. We're going into an end game, guys. And probably the simple plan is just to trade a rook. or / hang a rook. So maybe this. Pressure some things. Yeah, and this bot's putting up very little resistance now. Just got to be careful about back rank here. So I'm just going to play this move. Guess they're going to try come in, attack the base of the pawn chain maybe. But I think I'm going to be quicker to have some devastating effect. This is a threat. Okay. I mean, this is my win now, surely. Don't do this and hang your rook. Offer a trade. Okay, push in and this. Forcing a trade of the rooks now. Yeah, and they sacrifice. And now I'm up 10 points of material, guys, so I think I'm just going to sack. Keep it simple. Rook behind the pawn. And we'll promote this one. Get that pre-move on the board. He can have my rook. This and... This should be it somewhere. Cut this king off somehow. And somewhere there's a mate, guys. Yeah, it's close now. No stalemates. This pawn can move. There we have it, guys. That's how you take down PAL 9000. I'm afraid. My mind is going. I can feel it. My mind is going. Okay. All right. Give me a like, guys. It is painful sometimes to read out what these bots are saying. Okay, but finally we're taking on... Oh, well, two more. We're taking on Skyweb, the 1600, the revolutionary chess computer from Cyberdyne Systems. It identifies existential threats, exterminate threats. Okay. All right, so 1600. So now we're going to have to really try our hardest, guys. Let's see what we can do. I did get beat by a chess.com 1600 bot the other day in a lesson. It was a bit embarrassing. Because after a long 2-hour lesson, my brain started disappearing and I lost to that. I can't remember what she's called, but 1600 chess.com bot. So, you know, got to take him seriously. Let's come back. Take if you want to. So their king's already looking a little fragile. Makes me want to play this. But then this. just going to keep developing. Yeah. All right. So, sorry, there's someone just shouting. I'm in the house. All right. This. And, I mean, we can trade down. What am I doing? Sorry, guys, I got distracted. Someone shouted at me, and I don't know why I replied. So I recorded. I just said yeah, and then it distracted me. But yeah, obviously, don't get forked. Yeah. All right. We've got a strong knight, and we're going to go all out attack now. This is a threatened. So let's maybe. Can't trade pieces now, so we've made this very difficult. In a castle long. Try and introduce as much mayhem in the position as I can, since I just hung a piece. And try swing the knight round to create some attacking chances like this. Him trying to close things off. Respect. This now. Often it helps to push this pawn because it allows you to swing a rook in, maybe. Yeah, maybe the queen can come over as well. Okay, I'm just going to carry on with my plan. I didn't notice this pawn, honestly. So this knight can come in and be quite annoying. I think this, maybe we block like that. I've just got to open their king up somehow. So that's all I'm trying to do. And that looks like they've got two hanging knights. So if they've got a check though. They take this pawn, I'd gladly give them that pawn. Could I trap their queen? I don't think so. This check. So I think I'm going to go with this. I'm hoping they grab this pawn. Am I missing something here, guys? I'm not sure that's a great move. Maybe this, and back. But me pushing pawns in front of my king speeds up their cracking into my position. So this, open. This and my king's pretty safe though, it feels like. Still pressuring some stuff. Check. I mean, that's winning a piece. Take and... I don't see that they've actually got many counter threats. So yeah, apologies losing a piece before, guys, and getting distracted. It's not like me. Normally I just ignore when people are shouting in the house, but I just don't know why. I just responded. Right. I can't take this. Threatening this. If I just allow this here and in, I feel like if I move this knight, my king can just run. What if they come in this way though? Here, this. I don't see that I'm getting mated, to be honest, guys. Maybe I'm missing something, but... I mean, this... I could be able to mate him on this square. This, I'm not really threatening much, am I? This, I guess I get a check at the end of it. I mean that. Check here. This here and this with check. This here is mate. And we're threatening mate on this square. This this could be a really special move, actually. If pawn ever takes, we take with check, here, and mate. Let's go for it, guys. Come on. Seems like I might be getting desperate. Have I miscalculated? Don't I just escape? Oh, their rook gets in, though. Okay. The rook gets in. Can I escape the checks? If here... And he's got this square. If here... He's got this square. And then this. He's got this square. And it looks like my queen and king are getting skewered. So I might be better off going back. Let's try that. He takes. I take with check. Does the same rules not apply? I just said about this. Same rules apply, guys. So this little desperation check at the end did scare me a bit. I hadn't quite calculated it all out, but yeah, got there with a quite a pretty night sack, guys. Not gonna lie. That's like a fishing pole trap, I think, where if they take the piece, we open up the rook, and it can be quite devastating. So yeah, something to bear in mind if you've not seen that one before. And now we're going to get destroyed by Agent Chess, the 2700, who's programmed to keep you in your place, distracted, going through the motions and blundering pieces. We're all part of an illusion. So it's like Matrix, isn't it? Yeah. Challenge match with Matrix Man. And this video is getting quite long, so I'm not going to, well, I'm obviously going to try to win, but I'm not going to spend an hour trying to win. So this, blocking the queen. Develop and defend. They're taking it anyway, but is this interesting? No, it's definitely not. Takes with check, and the pawn is pinned. Can take with the bishop, though. So I've got a nice bishop, and let's pin this guy. Love to lodge something in on this square. It's very powerful if you can do that, but it's pretty well covered. I can blunt the bishop, blunt the queen a little bit. But in doing that, I've made my bishop quite bad, so I'll probably have to trade the bishop off for the knight here, because imagine this, for example, trapping the bishop. And on the other hand, the dark square bishop is really good, because all the pawns are on light squares. Develop, hit the bishop. So yeah, like I mentioned, probably trading that one off. Hit this guy. Can centralize, if so this. Could just move the bishop back to safety, maybe prepare that at some point as well. If this, though, the pawn becomes backwards on the open line. This and this. Let's try that. This now. I feel like this is coming. Centralize a rook should be okay. Maybe not the most critical move. This, if here... Let's try it, guys. I've got to try and play some critical moves. I'm not sure if this is, but... Takes, his rook gets in if push. I don't know what this has achieved. I mean, it's some engine thing though, isn't it, that we don't quite understand. But the engine would say, oh, this has gained space. And this will be a permanent thorn in black's position, supported by the bishop. I'm sure that's what the engine thinks, but it seems like a lot of moves wasted from my human point of view. Take. So we've got a check. They're lining up with my queen, and there's always tactics, guys. You know, this hitting the rook, then sacrifices, then hitting the queen. There's always tactics. It's often best just to move the queen in anticipation of this opening up. I can't take the rook because queen takes. Queen defends. So after this, queen would take at the end if it all opened up. So this piece is under a little bit of pressure. I can check here and not really achieve much. I think more solid to go back. This doesn't feel right because I'm opening my queen up. Just going to step the queen off the alignment issue. And then try and make my position super solid. That. This, he's got too much pressure. So I can start to double the rooks here. This, he just takes. So this feels like a slight weakening move, but... Okay, this starting to double the rooks. Maybe a sacrifice here in the future with check. And obviously I'd take a draw versus the 2700, guys. So doubling the rooks, I mean, my position doesn't look that bad, to be honest. I feel like my head's about to get caved in, though. I've got that feeling of impending doom. This opening the rooks. In fact, no, this is defended, isn't it? So I was thinking, could I do something mental there with a revealed attack, but it is just defended. Backwards moves aren't normally the best, though, are they? This blunting the light square bishop, but I feel like my queen's slightly misplaced. Like my queen's not really in the game. If this, we could try and get at this little weak pawn here. That could be an idea. Also stopping this hitting the knight ever? And creating a backwards pawn here isn't too bad because the rooks cannot target it. So if this now, trying to go after the pawn. Let's try it, guys. I mean... Here we go. Yeah, now my position's getting cracked open. Trapping their bishop in a bit for now. Maybe. Oh no. Oh no, yeah, yeah. I could feel, yeah, this wasn't right. Yeah, just... Okay. And this is what I meant. I could sort of feel this in the position. I didn't want to spend an hour calculating, but I could sort of feel that my queen was offside, and maybe going after this pawn was making the issue worse, but the queen was here, wasn't it, defending the bishop. So actually it was a bit better there than going after this pawn. Was quickly punished by Agent Chess, who attacked the then loose bishop. Yeah, pretty good. Oh, if I could just hit his queen with my knight, I'd have like an attack on this rook. This. If he takes, I take. Yeah, I mean it's over, isn't it? We're only down a pawn, but my king's wide open. Let's see how he converts it. This is not going to be pretty, guys. Yeah, queen coming in. This would block off the lateral defense. I need that defense. Let's try this. Get a piece in front of the king. And that's me. Oh, I didn't even see the bishop there. Yeah, so Agent Chess, I sort of deep down I knew I wasn't going to win that one, guys, but I did it anyway. We've taken them down. There's the, I don't even know what these are called. The new chess.com bots related to like artificial intelligence stuff. Yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys. Like and subscribe. The channel's growing a little bit. It's quite nice to see. My monthly income's now on like 40 odd quid a month from ads, so it's a bit of spending money. Pays for my sandwiches at lunch. So yeah, cheers for your support, guys, and see you next time.